There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the Name. Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You're watching Casino is the Name, and I'm seeing you with Moe the Chart Guy, and he wanted to ask me some questions about Airbnb.
Definitely, man. Hey, man, you make a little extra money, you got to know where to put it. So, hey, I'm here to learn.
Yeah, for sure. So what kind of questions you got?
Man, look, so first, what made you just, like, I'm finna do Airbnb?
I ain't gonna lie, I'm a person who try to find almost any kind of legal opportunity to make some money, especially if it's something that I already have access to. Mm-hmm. And I already had the houses. I got 2 houses. And, you know, I already have a long-term tenant. I had already been a landlord for like several years. So Airbnb came around. I had stayed in an Airbnb reluctantly. I didn't really want to be there because I didn't really want to be staying in people's house at the time. This was like long way in the beginning. It wasn't a normal thing yet. And so I was like, man, I didn't want to be doing this. And so then I did, and I was like, yo, this is actually pretty cool. And then the people telling me how much money they can make or whatever. And so, you know, the people who like rented it out, and they were telling me how much money they were making on a regular basis. And so I was like, man, this is good. If I can do this,
you gotta get into it.
Yeah, if I can do this, you know, that'll be a lick. Right. So I started doing that when I came back, and I think I was in California at the time. And so when I came back,
so you did Airbnb first in California?
Yeah, in California, but it was a nice house.
So, all right, so I gotta ask this question. I know in California they selling houses out there for $1 million, and it'd be like 1,200 square feet. Yeah. So what was your process on doing that?
So when I flew out there, I was actually flying to like Japan from there, right? And so they didn't have any more hotels where I was because I was on a military flight in that area. They all like were sold out. So this was an Airbnb in this really, really nice house. Definitely had to be $1 million home. And they had like the upstairs is where the family stayed. So they had like 4 bedrooms upstairs, and they had like 4 bedrooms downstairs. For sure. And they would rent the rooms out. And they had like codes on all the doors.
Oh, okay.
And you had a kitchen and a bathroom downstairs.
That's dope right there.
Yeah, but the family stayed upstairs. So when I went in, you know, I had my little room, and like the kids was running downstairs and stuff. And it was like, oh, the people are here. Like, you know? And then it was like, so the lady was like, yeah, this is what we do. And they were military as well. And she was telling me how they pay for that kind of house with it being so expensive. It's through Airbnb, and they actually make enough money for her to quit her job through Airbnb. And I was like, what? And she was an officer, which is higher ranking in the military.
Makes sense.
She was able to walk away from her job with Airbnb with that one house. And the husband still worked in the military. For sure. But that was how they offset their income and were able to afford that kind of house. And so seeing how they did it, like they had the water bottles out there. They had, you know, it was all nice.
Yeah, almost
the
like
room was small. You know what I mean? It was decent. But, you know, but they showed me like how it worked.
Oh, that's dope.
So when I came back, I was like, yo, I already got a crib.
I gotta get this.
I'm finna rent one of these rooms out of this. And I tried it, and lady came and she stayed for like a whole month. Like she rented for like the whole month.
All right,
so
I got a question for you.
Like, what?
I'm not really a people person, and I know that real estate people tell you stuff up. So what is your horror story? I know you got one. Or what is the biggest con to Airbnb? Give me your pros and your cons to Airbnb.
Pros is money.
Right.
The money is a pro, okay? The money almost makes it where it's almost no cons. Of course, there are some cons, some things that you. But my biggest issue was that people didn't want to ever leave. They didn't want to leave.
Now I guess that's a good and a bad thing, right? Yeah.
So, you know, it might be somebody who is coming. You know, traditionally I was thinking, oh, there's somebody who's coming on the weekend, right? But some people just need a place to stay for a couple of days until they figure out what's going on with them. Right. So my earliest people were like that. I had no idea that, you know, that those are the kind of, like, I didn't know what I was going to attract or whatever. Right, for sure. But what came in was just people who was in between, like, houses. So, you know, they foreclosed. Their house got foreclosed on. They need somewhere to stay, and they got a credit card, so they can afford. And that's the good part about Airbnb. It's on a credit card, or it's however it is.
Yeah.
It's debited already, so the money is on hold. You know you got your money, right?
Yeah.
And
just
so
gotta deal with the tenant.
yeah, and so I've had people who had like a lot of children, and they wrote on the walls. And so now I got it painted with the kind of paint that you could just wipe the stuff off. But at the time, I had the builder paint, which is easy to scratch up, and had kids who had marked up the whole house, and I actually had them repaint the house before they left.
Yeah, like you got to do something. Y'all got to do
the
something.
last day I had that family repaint the house before they left.
I bet they'd rather do that than pay that bill that you was going to give to them.
I got some builder paint in here, and I need your kids to repaint.
Right.
And so, but Airbnb, like you said, you're not really a people person. It helps to be a people person. People don't know this about me, but I really don't like people.
Yeah.
I'm really a recluse.
Yeah.
I spend most of my time by myself.
Introvert.
Yeah.
Me too.
But I have the ability to move around.
Yeah, to come out and share.
I know how to talk.
For sure.
So I'm refined.
Yeah.
So I know how to handle people. But traditionally, I'm not really a people person. But being in Airbnb, it helps because it's a hospitality business. Yeah. It is not. It's not really like a real estate business. It's not like a really.
It's almost like the Chick-fil-A of hotels.
It's not like being in real estate where you're a landlord. This is really hospitality. So I like short-term rentals. I no longer rent to anyone longer than a week.
Okay, gotcha.
I found a bridge in between because, see, my long-term tenant, that money is slow, right? They get a better rate because they're renting for a longer period of time. So I try to rent short-term. Well, I would say I started renting rooms. So I went from long-term rental with my tenants to short-term to Airbnb style, and then I blended it to renting rooms. Gotcha. So I would rent, 2 rooms at a time for long-term.
Gotcha.
So that money was faster.
So, one more question.
Okay.
What was your biggest challenge during the pandemic as far as COVID is on the scene? Were you still renting? Did you have to just say, you know what, I got to chill because I can't rent these people out? How did you handle that?
So right before COVID happened, right, I went to, let me tell you how I transitioned from Airbnb. So when I was doing Airbnb, I was getting, people would come in, and then I would have to clean the rooms and get it set back up, and there was a lot of movement. And so renting like the house to somebody long term would be slow money, and like it wouldn't be as lucrative. So I went to a blended where I would rent rooms for 2 or 3 months to somebody. So because they were going to stay for so long, they usually kept the rooms up. Because people treat it like a hotel room. They're not making the beds up.
Right. Yeah, you got to definitely come in there.
So you come in and you clean, and you got to try and turn it before somebody else comes in. They might have just cooked.
Yeah.
So you try to do that. Yeah. They're supposed to do that, or it's in the agreement. But just in case they don't, sometimes they don't. I've had that happen. I've had somebody waiting outside, and the person who was still in was supposed to check out 3 hours ago, and they were like,
"I seen those.
Hey, I'm still getting my makeup on, lady. If you don't leave, But it happens. But just being a people person and trying to know how to talk to people and know how to work with people and things like that. It's a hospitality business, so But I transitioned right before the pandemic to short-term room rentals like Airbnb, just longer term, and so. We just didn't expect that to happen, and so those people ended up staying for like a year. But I didn't miss any money.
Right.
It still paid.
Gotcha. So I was going to ask, like, did you benefit from the price increase due to that? Because I know, like, right now with real estate, there is like there's homes. The sales are down, but the prices of homes have went up. So did you benefit from that as well too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. I've not like COVID. COVID was good financially. For most people I know, I don't really know anybody who suffered financially from COVID. I know there are people who did. I just don't know any. everybody, I know people who didn't have any money before COVID who got
money now. Right?
It's like, yo, when did you get an Infinity?
Yeah,
you know, you know, is this an Escalade you just pulled up in? Did you have a job? Like, did you ever have a job?
Right.
But no, I ain't had one, but you know, the government looking out. So,
yeah, that's what's up,
so,
man. That's dope, man. Thanks for dropping the info on the Airbnb, man.
That's right. So I'm looking at doing more Airbnb one day, you know, and I actually got a couple videos on Airbnb on this channel where I interview some other people, and there's varying levels of situations. One lady rented an apartment, and she lost money because she didn't tell the apartment complex that she was going to be doing Airbnb out of it. So she lost like $10,000 doing that because she had just furnished it and stuff. And another lady, she's buying a place, she's buying a condo in Atlanta where she's going to Airbnb. So, you know, we're still watching those situations.
Oh, man, I'm going to stay tuned, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe.
Yeah, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Right now you're watching Casino Is the Name, and we are out.
Hey, yo, what's going on? Right now you're watching Casino Is the Name, and if you wanted to know how I started my trucking business, I have an ebook called Big Shot, Hot Shot Volume 1, Own Your Trucking Authority. It's a great book, 5-star reviews. The link will be in the description below. Go get that. Yeah.
Beat me up, Scotty. Beat me up, Scotty.
Me and her together, we just count it up. Money on my mind, I can't get enough. Don't play with my money, you don't want no beef. Cause I come from the bottom, I come from the streets. When she first saw me, she said, who is that? When a man saw me, he called me a threat. I'm the one that really live with a rap. They ain't never did it, they ain't really trap. You say you want to be successful, but what's stopping you? Can't nothing stop you from being successful except for you. You standing in your own way. I came from the bottom. I ain't know nothing but the grind. You can't tell me nothing about that. I caught the bus at Basin Street Projects in Tallahassee, Florida. You hear me? I used to think $1 million would last me my whole life. I'd have made that and spent that. $1 million ain't enough.
There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino Is the Name.